From introvert to extrovert. Wow, my personal journey. You can change anything about your personality, but really, what are the steps on how to develop your personality? A common question I get from people who meet me and have attended one of my live events is they ask me, Kirk, how did you go from an introvert to an extrovert? And my first response is, wait a minute, I did not lose my introvert side, but I did gain an extrovert side. I worked on my personality. I could literally work on my personality until it changed. So what if you are looking right now how to develop your personality? Well, I want you to know from my personal experience, you can change any part of your personality. Years and years ago, I thought there's no way I will ever come out of my introvert side. There's no way I'll ever be an extrovert. There's no way I'll ever get out in front of people or do things in front of people because it would just cause me to sink inside even thinking I would do something like that. But you know what? I had this dream, this mission, this feeling I had inside of me was going to require me to be more of an extrovert. And I didn't know how in the world I was going to make that happen. But there was all these other qualities and these characteristics that I wanted, but I just didn't have them. And I kept saying, well, this is just my personality. This is how I grew up. This is how I've always been. And once you're always this way, you can't change anything. Well, that's actually not true. You can change any part of your personality. But here's a couple of things you want to pay attention to in the process of how to develop your personality. You can see that these are tree branches up here, and I put all these fun characteristics out here on the tree branch. So something to really pay attention to is the root system of who you are. You know, this is what it took for me to change me. Now, I didn't lose the good side of me of being an introvert. I think introverts are awesome. And being an introvert, there's nothing wrong with it. Introvert means that you can recharge all by yourself. You enjoy being alone, you enjoy being outdoors, and you really enjoy deep, meaningful conversations. That's an introvert. An extrovert recharges by being around people. And an extrovert loves to be around a bunch of people all the time and invite everybody over and just go for it and just be playful. And that was not me. But I knew if I could be some of that characteristic, that type of personality, it would make it easier for me to accomplish my mission in life, which is to help people. And so I had to start looking into what is it going to take for me to acquire this type of personality trait. Now, I don't know what it is you are looking to acquire or change, but the same components I'm going to show you here can work for you to change whatever part of your personality you want to change. The first step, I'm going to start right here, is a role model. I started looking for people that literally were living or acting, not like an actor in a movie, but literally were behaving in the personality type I wanted to have. I know it seemed weird. It was almost like I was stalking people, right? And I'm watching and looking for people that were being the way I wanted to be. But I was looking for some role models. And it was easier to find a role model, through literally watching YouTube videos or watching shows on TV or watching personalities of people out there in the world or reading books about people. But I started looking and finding people, and I found just like 2 or 3 people that really, they behaved like I wanted to behave. And so I began to watch them closely, to study them, to literally watch them on a video, act like them, watch them, act like them, watch them, act like them. And I would study them, and I would actually pretend like I was being them. And that's what mirroring is. So I would find the role models, and then I would mirror the way that they're being. And so I would find these extrovert people, and when I first started, it just felt so strange. But if there's any personality type or personality characteristic you wish you could have, you find a person who is doing that or acting that way, and then you begin to study them. Really, it's it's like you got to act the part before you can be the part. And at first it felt super goofy and it felt like this is never going to happen. But really the way your mind works is what you repeatedly do, you now unconsciously will do. So if I just kept doing it over and over and over again, it would become an unconscious behavior. Like it would literally become part of me. I'm still an introvert, but I'm also an extrovert. I can go either way, whichever part it's needed. So the visual for me was watching the videos. I also got pictures of people who I looked up to, who had those characteristics and those personality styles that I wanted. So I'd put pictures of people on my wall, and I would look at them and I'd imagine, okay, to be like them, this is what that person would do. This is how they would act. This is how they would talk. And so not only was I watching videos, but I had pictures of them. And so then I also would close my eyes and I would practice in my mind imagining me being more outgoing, more playful, more kind, more generous, more sincere. And I would imagine myself in front of large groups of people and not dying and not freaking out being in front of people. But I had to walk myself through that visual, because if I could see me acting that way inside my mind, then I could see myself acting that way in real life. You know how as a kid we do make-believe, all the fun things we did, growing up, make-believe stories, but we would pretend like it was real. And our mind is really powerful that way, is that if we take it on that journey of imagination can really become true for us if we imagine it enough times. So visually, just imagining in my mind of me being in that personality, and that was easily done because I had watched the people and literally acted it out. Now the story, what I would do is I would write in my journal and I would tell a story about, gosh, I really wish that someday I could be able to stand up in front of a group of people and not pass out or not have my heart beat 1,000 miles an hour. But I would write this story of me being able to be that personality type, personality behavior. But I would write, if I could do this, I could help people. If I could do this, it would just feel good completing my personal life mission, and being able to be this way. But to literally write down a story of what you would like to be, this story part influences the left side of your mind. This influences the right side of your mind. So literally you're teaching your whole mind about what you want to be like. It's really cool. I mean, you literally can change any part of you. And the new fancy word that is on the street is called neuroplasticity, where your mind is moldable. It can change. But you might want to look that one up, neuroplasticity. Literally, the scientists are telling us we can change any part of our behavior as long as we repeatedly do the actions we want to someday unconsciously do. It's powerful. Now, I told you about mirroring, about following or mimicking somebody else. And then purpose. I had to have a reason. Why was I doing this? Was I doing it to be liked? Was I doing this to be accepted? No, I wasn't doing it for other people. I wasn't doing it for recognition. I was doing it because I wanted to do it. Because my big purpose was, I feel like I'm to be a teacher, someone who can help people. But I had to find my purpose behind it. Because that's one thing you will constantly ask yourself, why am I doing this? What was I thinking? Why should I keep doing this? And if you don't have the answers to that, and you're not clear on why and the purpose and who you're doing this for and what can happen from it, you're going to lose your motivation. You're going to lose literally the effort that you can put forward to making this happen. But when you know the purpose, and even if you can come up with some small purpose, find somebody to literally act like, write yourself a story of where you see this going, imagine in your mind being that way, and finding a real live person who already acts that way. With all of these different parts of this evidence, your mind can change. It will adapt. It will adjust. When we were little kids, we looked up to people, literally because we were little and they were big, right? But we looked up to people and we followed role models. We followed other people's behaviors. We saw what they did, and then we began to do what they did. And so we are just big kids. We're not done. You know, years ago, scientists said that once you turn a certain age, you can't change. But they've found that's no longer true. Any person at any time can make changes about who they are. And if you have a personality trait you don't want to have, like you just don't like it, like maybe you're super shy, well, you replace it with the kind of personality trait that you want. You know, or maybe you're mean and you're grumpy and you're just mean to people. Well, you find somebody who's opposite of that and replace that personality trait with the new personality trait. And you can imagine yourself being much more polite and kind to the people around you. These roots influence these fruits. So it's in your root system. And this is what it takes to make a change. Of all of these that I'm showing you here, the purpose. Why? Why do you want to develop your personality? To what end? What do you hope happens? And as you find that purpose, write it down in a story. Because notice, the deepest root on this chart I'm showing you is the story you have inside of your mind. If you're shy and you wish you were not shy, stop saying you're shy. Start saying you're confident and you're outgoing. Stop saying the language that repeats and confirms the personality traits that you don't want to have. Don't say that you're shy. Don't say that you're not outgoing. Start saying, you know, I am outgoing. I'd love to be around people. I love to do this. But start speaking the language. That's your story. Start telling the story that you hope to become. And that's what's cool. You and I, we have a chance to develop our personality traits. And you get to literally watch people around you and find what you like, and then begin to mirror and mimic those attributes of others. It's awesome. You get to create yourself. So for me, as I've been creating myself, I love to teach other people how to do this. So maybe if you ever can get to Salt Lake City here, come attend one of our live events called Master Your Influence. It's an incredible training program, literally how to master your own influence on your own life and other people's lives. Then be sure to subscribe here to our YouTube channel so you don't miss any training at all. So it's all coming to you automatically and you can get all the great content we're sharing with you. It's perfect because it covers all the important aspects of your life. So here at 3 Key Elements, we care about where you're going in your life because your life matters.